Okay, folks, Dave here at Erie Arachnids. I'm getting ready to feed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13 tarantulas. So it'll be a relatively quick one, I hope. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. We're just going to do some feeding. I think everyone's probably going to eat. Most of them are arboreals, so we're going to be looking at angles like this. Hopefully they'll come out okay. We're going to start with, this is Chindi. This is the smallest of the Chromatopelma cyaneopubescens that I own. Denver is going out, I believe, Tuesday with the male Balfouri and the female Regalis. And then I'll tell you about another deal I have going on. We'll see what she does here, or he. I'm assuming he's going to be hungry, or she's going to be hungry. It's been a little over a week, or right around a week. You can see Chindi here in the corner. Since it molted, it's been down a little bit more. Not quite on the ground. There we go. Ooh, yeah. Not quite on the ground, but down somewhat more. Well, this is a good takedown here. There we go. Now we'll. This one's famous for doing the webbing and the happy dance afterwards, but yeah. So we're starting out good. Let's hope it stays that way. If anybody hasn't watched the Tom Moran, Mark's Tarantulas competition, it was a pretty interesting two-part video. One was done by Tom, one was done by Mark, and they kind of had they fed 3 tarantulas, and then they wanted to see who had the best takedown. And sorry, Tom, but I think Mark got you on this one. Looked like that P. Armenia was the takedown of the whole group. The way that he filmed it and the upside down takedown was pretty cool. So we're going to move on, and we'll talk about a few things as I'm feeding. We're going to move on to, hopefully we'll get the Salmopaeus pulchers to feed. So first up is, this is Thorin. This is the suspected male. You can see he's down the bottom there. I'm hoping we're going to be able to get the video of him. The problem with these containers, and especially the pulchers, is they web up so much that they're kind of hard to get on the feed. So we're going to dump a female red runner in there, and I'll try and just follow him if he does come up. Pulchers are very vibration sensitive. I've witnessed them tapping their webbing to get the prey to move so that they can sense where it's at. It's a very interesting feeding response and habit. The females seem to have done it more than this one has. Waiting for this one to molt the next time so we can confirm whether we have a male or a female. The molts so far have not suggested female, but Salem, all the way up through her last 2 molts, I thought was a male too. So we'll find out. I'm hoping, anyway. Both Salem and Bikini, both are female, but both are not mature and probably won't be for a little while anyway. Now the roach is right there, and he's right there. Now these guys have all kind of molted relatively. You can see there's a dubia down there. It's been living with him forever. It's amazing how long those roaches can live without eating. I generally don't take them out. If they bury themselves, I just kind of wait, see if they'll feed later. Apparently, Thorn's not big on dubia. So without the immediate response of him, I'm going to try and get the roach to go down there real quick just to see if he might be interested. If not, then we will move on. Oh yeah, wasn't the best shot as I'm just trying to get back to the camera. And again, this is the hard part about filming arboreal spiders that web up a lot. Not just arboreal spiders, but you know, fossorials or even terrestrials that web up a lot in their enclosures. It's hard to really get a good shot of them unless you can get them up top. And he is more of a bottom dweller than the other two. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but I'm trying to get a somewhat decent shot of him there. And is definitely the smallest of the three bigger ones. Of course, the sling is still only around an inch. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try the other two and see what we get. Okay, so there is Lakini. I try and give her a feed. It's a male dubia, or male red runner, sorry. Not dubia. Close that. There we go. These pokers are really, really good. They're, again, they're one of my favorites, if not my favorite, period. So that was an easy, quick feeding video. And I'm working with the GoPro, trying to learn some of the nuances of it, and I'll be working with the handheld here soon. I need to get a little lesson on it real quick and see what's going on. I think that'll give me a little bit more quality videos, but the enclosures are the enclosures, so sometimes it's not as easy to videotape them, but I can set up different cameras. If you watch Dark Dens, and I'm sure you do, how he sets up different cameras at different angles to try and get better responses, and then holding the handheld video camera is a lot steadier than trying to hold these small phones to video. I mean, I think the quality of the videos so far have been okay. And you see you're looking through an odd spot in the plastic, so you're not getting a really, really good view of her. Oh, I gave her water. Okay, well, let's move on to Salem, the last pulcher we feed today. She's the most recently molted. Before I get to Salem, the female Salmopaeus pulcher, I just wanted to show everybody that, boy, I had a plethora of little tiny babies hatch. So tonight's task is going to be changing out the egg crates and hopefully separating these little babies into their own small little enclosure so that I can use those to feed the slings instead of trying to find them throughout this. They'll at least all be in one small or taller container that I can just get in there with a vial and get them out. But you can see, there's one. They're running around all over the place, which was really good news for me. Okay, let's move on to Salem. All right, so I'm gonna try and hold the camera and feed her. I know she'll be ready to eat. Probably won't take long. Yep, like I said. Yeah, they're very, very pretty spiders. She has really gotten blonde in this last molt. Like I said, she's still an immature female. She's not breedable yet. But these will be bred by me. I will breed her. I will breed Lucchini. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Probably won't happen till next year, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to move on to a couple other arboreals. We got 4 more arboreals to do. We'll go on to the 2 Avicularia rufas, and then we're going to try and feed the recently molted Avicularia metallica DM and the Carabina versicolor male. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to try tongue feeding this one with a female. It's a cricket. You probably can't even see it. You can't because she's up top. I don't know how I'll do this. I can't really get the camera up any higher, so we're going to have to wing it. Oh, damn cricket got away. Okay, now that the cricket's retrieved, there she is. Cricket is in, but probably went down to the bottom. I really like the way I did this enclosure, except for one small thing. You can see inside everything branch-wise is up top. There's nothing that leads up to that. So I'm going to try and fix that. The cricket is still moving around there. So that if I do put prey in there, they can climb back up to her. Not that she can't climb down to get them, because she usually does. That's where she usually gets her prey, is down at the bottom. This tripod can be a pain sometimes, just trying to make it work. I looked at some other tripods that were taller to do for stuff like these, and I can't figure out a way to attach the GoPro attachment to it for holding the phone or holding the GoPro. They're basically set up more for, like the Rebel cameras, or the EOSs, stuff like that, the digital cameras. It doesn't look like she even knows the cricket's in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and bypass her and move on to the other one. We'll see if we can get that one to feed. And this one does grab a hold of anything. I'll be sure to add it back in. We'll put some water in there for it. Overflow it a little bit. Alright. Okay, so apparently I forgot to hit play or record. So we missed the shenanigans by this one. I tried tongue feeding, and I had the roach right in front of her, and instead of taking the roach, she ran all the way around the other side of the enclosure. So I let the roach go, and she came over and grabbed it off the bottom. So I knew they'd be hungry. They haven't eaten in roughly 21 days, either one of them. And you really can't get a good look of her. All you got is her butt. I'm going to try something real quick and see if this works for me. Okay, we can at least get a little closer. See, she's got the roach. So I'm sorry that we missed the takedown. This one spends most of her time right there. I figured she would web up here, and she didn't. But this one really, honestly, has been closer to the bottom enclosure spider for quite a while. The other one likes to be up top. And that's the other one. That's the one that we just fed the cricket to. That she was just down here trying to catch it. And I don't know how the cricket got back up in there. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. I don't know where the cricket is really right now. I know she doesn't have it, but okay. Well, we're going to move on to that guy, the Carabiner versicolor. Okay, so we're going to try and tongue feed this one. Let's get this male red runner by the wings. You guys are staring at him. I'm struggling trying to. I should have used a bigger vial to do that with. Okay, so we'll put him into a bigger vial. Give me a little better angle. Once I catch him. Now, these are not easy to get sometimes. Keeps climbing up the tongs. Devin, this is, he matured. I'm still, I mean, I see emboli, but I don't see hooks, which is confusing me. And so I have to be sure that what I'm actually seeing is emboli on him. Here we go. I think I got it now. Okay, so we're going to try tongue feeding him. Hopefully you guys will be able to see. Where did he go? No, he's still there. There we go. He's always been a really good tongue feeder. I've never really had an issue with him. I don't know if I mentioned it before or not, but he is also going to go away to Keith Beasley, who is across the state. He has 4 females, so hopefully, you know, he will mate and produce some babies with all 4 of them. Would be nice. And then we're just going to, I don't know, we're going to split everything. We'll split the sacks up, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with a whole bunch of Carabiner versicolor babies. And then he's going to send the Poecilotheria subfusca baby, or mature male, to me to try and breed with my female. So we'll see what happens with that. We've got a bad glare. There he is. This is his first meal since he's molted. So yeah, he's got pretty clubbed pedipalps there, so I'm pretty confident that he's a mature male. He's again, I don't get the hooks. They must be just that subtle. So I thought, well, you guys would be able to at least get a chance to look at shadow there real quick before I move on to some of these. I think there's 4 more at the most terrestrial species, and then we'll wrap this video up and I'll start filming the question of the week. Okay, so I forgot one arboreal. This is the avicularia. It's called the avicularia morph type, I think 6, number 6. This is the Metallica, or I call them the Avicularia Metallica ND, which is known dubium, which means that they don't have any type specimens to compare them to. She molted about a week and maybe a little over a week ago. See if she's ready to eat. She's right there. Yep. Oh, maybe not. Maybe she just struck at it and to get away from me strike. She might not be ready. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on her and see what happens over the course of the next few hours. If she doesn't eat it, or if it's bothering her, I will get it out of there. Okay, now let's move on to, oh, sorry, we got 6 more. Okay, this is the Poecilotheria, or Poecilotheria, or Poecilotheria, whatever you guys want to call it, Tigrina Wasseli. This will be the first feeding post-molt. You can see how skinny the pokies get real thin after a molt. So that's the Poecilotheria Tigrina Wasseli, or the Wessel's ornamental tarantula. We have the Poecilotheria smithy to go. We had a failed attempt at feeding the carabina, or not the carabina, the Iberipora soritoma, just because of the way that it's made its home. It's hard to really feed it. So I tried to get the cricket to go down inside the funnel tube, and it didn't want to go. I'll show you real quick. And I just kind of let it go in there, and then whenever it wants to eat, you can see the funnel tube where the spider is right there, and it comes all the way up to the top like that. So trying to get something to go down there is not very easy. So then this one molted recently also. All 3 of these ones that we're doing now are all recent molted spiders. So okay, we're going to go ahead and go on to the Poecilotheria smithy. Okay, so there is the P. smithy. Cricket on board. Interested spider. Very quick takedown. Probably hungry. Well, apparently hungry. I was going to say probably. But yeah, molted a little over a week and a half ago, right around a week and a half ago. Molted just a few days after I got it in. Suspected male ventral. Again, pokies at this size aren't the easiest to ventrally sex. As they get a little bit bigger, they tend to get easier. So we suspect that the smithy is a male and the Tigrina Wasseli is a female. So it's the first time that I've fed this one since it's been in. I came in pre-molt. And you can see how skinny. I don't know if you can get a really good ventral shot, but you can see, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell now because you got a nice straight line going across. Kind of look for the buttons on them. It's kind of how you tell they're males. Females, that line, the epigastric furrow line there generally would be an arc, and the book lungs will be farther apart, and you can see how close the top book lungs are together. And generally, again, it's not the best way to tell, but the top book lungs will be at a slight angle to the bottom ones, so that if the bottom ones are at a 10-degree angle, the top book lungs will be like 15 degrees. That's just a number I'm throwing out there. It's not the exact angle, but they won't run on the same plane, and you can see that the book lungs of these ones are pretty much straight up and down on the other ones. So again, it's not a foolproof method. It's a practiced and learned thing, and I've been trying to learn ventral sexing of pokies for over the course of the last year, and you know, looking at them on pictures on Facebook or on Instagram or anything like that, it gives you an idea. But when you have them actually side by side, it's a lot better if you have a male and a female side by side that you know are male and female to actually compare things with. So I'm trying to document pictures as best as I can at different sizes of different Poecilotheria so that I can help others in the future, hopefully be able to eventually sex some of their spiders a little bit earlier, because pokies are very, very synonymous for ripping up their molts. Okay, now we have 3 left, and these 3 are going to be iffy. Okay, so this one is the solo Monocentropus belfori, going with a rather small cricket. I'm going to put it in there. We're going to cover it up. We're going to see what the spider actually does. So you can see it made its little area here to come out to the surface there, and also on the back side of the way it's facing, he's got a little, or she's got a little escape hatch there too. So while we're kind of watching this one, again, belfori are really somewhat sensitive to vibrations too. We'll watch this one for a little while and just see what kind of actions it does. I have had this one for, I'd have to look again to be sure, but over a year. It hasn't gained a ton of size, and it's not been a very good eater, and I can honestly tell you, I think I've only seen it maybe actually physically eat one time. So it'll be a treat if we can actually get it to move. But on to the other deal that I have going on. This is with mostly reptiles, Ruth Cowper. I am sending one of my favorite spiders to her. I'm trying to get away from some of the old world species. Not that I don't like them, I do, but with where I'm trying to go forward with my collection and with the channel, some of the old world species are hard to film, and I don't see them very often. So Ruth wants to breed my female Harpactira pulchripes, or pulchripes, and I'm also sending her my female Augustophilus isendami, and I'm getting a handful of spiders that I've been looking for a long time. One being the Brachypelma schroderi, which is the Mexican black velvet, comparable to the Grammostola pulchra. Secondly, I'm getting another Brachypelma classy sling right around the 1-inch mark, and I'm getting an Aphonopelma moderatum sling at the 1-inch mark, and I'm getting a 2-inch Brachypelma albiceps. So I'm getting some, oh, and also a Sericopelma rubronitans. So I'm getting some really cool stuff back, stuff that's out and active. We'll be able to see more, a little bit slower for me, grow a little bit slower, take up a little bit less room. So I'm also looking at trying to find homes for one of my female OBTs, possibly my Pamphobedius platyoma female, and a handful of other old world species. Not all of them, because I am keeping my Orphanaicus philippinus, my Ceratojaurus darlinis for the most part. I'm not sure about both of the Lugardis. For now, I'm going to keep them because they're just small slings. I'm keeping the Chordatus and my Pokies, other than the Vittata and the Regalis that are going away. I'm sending my Vittata male, I think penultimate, to Cody Wilson for an Ediothella mira, a smaller trapdoor baboon. So I am still keeping some of my old world stuff, but you know, my pulchripes, I'll get another one eventually. You know, I'll start back at a sling again. But she's worth quite a bit, and Ruth has been doing some great stuff breeding, so I thought that I'd give her an opportunity to do that, to breed something that she's been looking forward to breeding for a while, and hers is just a very, very small sling. So for her to be able to get, you know, probably a molt or two away from being breedable, but she's close, everybody keeps telling me that at her size she's probably breedable, but she's only a little under 2 years old. So I just can't believe that she's sexually mature enough right now. And her last molt she just ripped to shreds, so I couldn't see if her spermathecae and uterus externus has sclerotized at all. So he's not, or she's not moving, period. So we're going to move on to spider. I've been trying to feed on camera for a long time. Hopefully it'll actually feed. I'm not really quite sure. It's one I want to move into something different. Actually, probably one of these softball cases is probably what I want to move it into, because it's not going to get much bigger than what it is, right? You'll see it when I get to it. She's out and about. I have a funny feeling that the male died or is really, really good at hiding. So I think today, you know, my task, I got one more video to shoot, which is the Q&A, or the question of the week, the QOTW. And I do want to move, you know, a lot of those little baby bilateralises into a different type of enclosure. So I separate them. And then I'm going to do another feeding video later of the M-Balfouri communal. See if we can't get those buggers out to eat. Okay, let's get the last two in so we can get this video wrapped up. I can get it uploaded and then start doing my other stuff while this is uploading. I did it again. So that's twice now in this feeding video. This is how, again, I'm real as you can be. Idiotic, stupid. I fed the Brachypelma Amelia sling. She came out of her little log, took it right down. I forgot to hit record. I'm talking to the camera. It's not doing anything. So at least you could see her for a minute real quick. And we're going to get the Heterothelly villicella female out. And hopefully she will feed. It's been over 200 days since I've seen her eat. I have thrown crickets in there that I found dead on the webbing, you know, days later. I'm just not quite sure what's going on with her. So, yeah, look forward to the moving of her. And I think the Grammostola pulchra are going to go into the 2 unoccupied softball containers I have. And it's either going to be the pulchra or the Ephebopus marinus. The Ephebopus marinus is growing. It probably can come out of that baseball cube. But with the 4 coming in, I have to make sure I know exactly where those 4 are going to go. I will have 3 mini softball helmet enclosures open. So the Schroderi and the Albiceps may end up in those. At least 2 of those. And then we'll probably put the Davus penniloris or the other. Once we move out Denver, the mature male GBB, we may put in Arkham in its place. I'll clean it all out, redo it, and get Arkham in there, which will free up another softball cube. So we could put both the pulchra and the E. moranus into those. Then I'm thinking the moderatum, which is a 1-inch, and the classy, which is a 1-inch. The classy will probably go into a baseball cube, and which will be unoccupied from the E. moranus, and then the moderatum will probably go into a softball container. Now they're real pretty. Check them out. I don't have pictures of them, so I really can't show you what they look like. But let's get the villicella out and wrap this up. Okay. Of course, since I want to try videoing her, she's inside her web castle. She's been out for quite a while, weeks now. She wasn't looking so good the other day. I sprayed up her web, gave her a bunch of water, and she perked right back up. So we're going to see if maybe she might be interested in coming out to feed. I hope so. Again, I think that the setup in the softball cube will really be cool for this spider. You know, we'll be able to watch her progress webbing back up again. It's getting her out of here is what's going to be fun. If she'll come out. I think that's probably what I'm going to do while this video is uploading, is try to move her. Yeah, she's not going to come out now. It's too much commotion. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna end it here with her, even though she didn't come out. And then what I'm going to do is get this cricket back out, move her into the new home, get the small baby roaches into a new bin to separate them, and get everything situated for the question of the week video. I wish she would be out for you at least to see her, but hopefully we'll be able to see her later on tonight. Maybe I can use her as a visual for the question of the week. Okay, well, thanks for watching again. Thanks for putting up with my stupidity on forgetting to hit the record button. And we'll talk to everybody later tonight.